All right, we're live. Tapping Birdie. Got my good pal, Golf Digest finest, excellent golfer, funny guy on Twitter, becoming famous, Chris Powers. How are you doing tonight?
Very good. Excellent golfer was the best part of that, I think. But
Yeah, no, always got to give some really great
despite
compliment to
never
the
playing
person
together,
coming on. But that's changing this week. We are
that
playing
is
together this Sunday with our good pal Andy Lack. Are you excited? I mean, this should be pretty fun. Some good Twitter content creators coming together to play a nice round.
that's true. Very excited. Weather's looking a little iffy a week out. Hopefully that changes as it so often does in this area of the country. But I think we'll be in the high 40s, and hopefully the sun stays out. But it's just the company is all that's gonna matter at the end of the day.
We'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah.
We're Northeast guys. Andy, on the other hand,
Right.
He might struggle a little bit. He's kind of what we would call a pampered fuck. He's out there in LA all year, comes to New York when the weather's nice. And so he's going to have to, battle the elements a little bit, because I worry about him in some cold conditions. Like I worry about a lot of kind of golfers this week.
And don't forget, Andy's playing, it's always golf season where he lives. Pristine conditions. He's going to have to come. I mean, I played today. The greens were, I didn't play the course we're playing, but the greens at the particular course I played were interesting, to say the least. So I'm excited to see how Andy stacks up on an off-season day for him.
Yeah, no, totally. And now that I've changed my putting, things have been kind of good. So you are a proponent of you'll never post your swing or anything of you playing golf related on Twitter. Me, on the other hand, I'm the opposite of that. I'm like a 20 handicap shoot in the 90s, but I'll post me slicing a drive. And, the putting video kind of went a little hashtag viral there. And I don't know what really put that on. I didn't realize how bad my putting stance was, but it was pretty bad on second look.
Yeah, there's two things I'm never going to do on Twitter, and that's post my golf swing or a picture of a grilled steak or a cooked steak that I've done, because you're just asking for just an absolute shred session, which you deal with pretty well. So I say keep it coming, and it's fun. You make it fun, obviously. I'm self-conscious enough about it. And if people find out I'm a decent player and they see my swing, they might think, he's lying. So I'm not going to, maybe you guys sneak a video this Sunday and it ends up on Twitter somehow. But
that would be kind of fucked up. I don't know if I would do that. I'm a good friend. I wouldn't do that without their consent. So new presenting sponsor of the Tap and Birdie podcast. We are now presented by BetSports Golf. So I wanted to partner with them. I wanted to team up with them. And they have a lot of great content creators. So they have Ryan Noonan, they have 4-4, they have Andy. So they're going to be putting out weekly content. It's going to be on their YouTube page. So if they're watching this on YouTube, if you're new to the show, really appreciate it. Go subscribe to their channel. They're going to be putting out some optimizers. They're going to be putting out some ownership projections in the coming weeks. So we'll be talking about that a little bit on the show in the coming weeks, but go check them out. No crazy ad reads. That's why I like to partner with them. And they just, and I also want to thank the listeners of TIB, because this would not be possible without you. And I know this is a fun podcast and we just mess around and whatever, but I really appreciate the viewers. And if you take time out of your week to listen to this, I really appreciate you. And if you're listening to this right now, you're a great person, and we're going to win some money on match play this week.
Yeah, let's do some page numbies this week. What do you say?
Page numbies. So we are doing page numbies, and I just unpinned it from the profile. So you are now pinned, Chris. I felt like the timing was right. Didn't want to have it up there forever.
That's good. That's a good pin time limit. I respect it.
You 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's perfect.
like it was Paige, like whatever. Like it's still there. It's will be there forever. So no one worry. But also like kind of want to play a little hard to get. So take her off the pinch week. She's like, oh, I'm not on the, maybe she'll reach out. But yeah, things with a lot of people reaching out. Things with me and Paige are great. Really good. So
they seem great. Yeah.
She's been doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. So no. It's great. I miss her dearly.
It's a long distance.
Yeah, a little long distance thing. But I do want to thank you, Chris, because I don't know if the Page podcast would have happened without your help. So, I appreciate that. I put in my own work, but you kind of
it was all you. Let's be honest.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I needed to hear that today. So the match play, it's a different event. It's a different type of week, but I like this. I think we like this. And when I always try to align the event with the guests and have something that it suits each other well. And I thought you were the perfect guest for this. You like the event. I've reached out to people about coming up for this. They're like, I don't really like the match plays. I'm like, and you're like, dude, fire me up for it. So this should be a good pod. This should be a good event. Overall, you like the match play? It's a good event. It's a nice little change of pace.
Love it once a year, absolutely. And obviously Ryder Cup, you get the match play vibe too. But yeah, I'm a fan. I think I was actually just watching Golf Channel. They were talking about how they kind of like the old format. I don't disagree entirely. I think Friday is an unfortunate scene when there's matches that don't really matter. Although from a gambling perspective, every single match matters this week. So you're going to be rooting for guys that are 0-2 and 0-1-1 to knock out a certain guy. So I guess they still have meaning. But yeah, I do kind of miss the straight up 64-man single elimination type bracket, even if that knocked out a Tiger Woods on day one. But that's kind of, the upset. Yeah. That's kind of what you want to see, right?
Yeah, I think what's great about this week is like for like true degenerates is just like there are so many matches to bet on every single day. And I've always under the impression that when you do this every single week and you follow these guys, you don't need to look at strokes gain data and you can get a feel for a match and the line and bet it and be profitable if you do this every single week. So I think for a lot of gamblers like us that follow the PGA Tour week in and week out, it's really going to open up a lot of opportunities for great live betting. And then you have the DFS aspect where most of these lineups are not optimal. And, I don't need to get into everything, but basically you don't want to roster guys in the same quadrant. If two people that you're rostering can play in the round of 16, do not roster them. So a lot of people do not do that. If you do that, you could pick shitty golfers and you could have a shitty lineup and you might not make any money, but you could not and have a good lineup.
I think
that aspect's good.
This is a perfect week for a Brian Kirshner experiment. Like bet every underdog $10, like you've been doing with the first half unders in college basketball. I think the same thing goes for like if you bet the biggest underdog in each group winner. I would love to see where you shook out.
But you're only getting like at most like plus 450.
3-1.
So like, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm thinking about betting definitely every single thing past round of 16. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about this week is that, it's not a live ad week. So I can have a full outright card and then just bet whatever the fuck I want. Yep. So, we're going to have a pretty big investment this week, and hopefully we will come out on top. Honestly, it's very hard. I think it's harder to hit an outright this week than many other weeks because you could obviously you could be dead after a Thursday in a regular match, but like you really could just be out of it early in your outright bets because if they lose their first match, it's just very unlikely that they're going to make it out of the group stage. It's very tough to get out of the group stage.
Very tough. I was one of my picks. I was looking back at his old results here, hoping they would kind of tell me something good about it. And didn't seem to get to the round of 16 that often. So now I'm a little worried, but we'll get there.
All right. So we'll go down the bracket. We'll give our picks for each grouping, and then if we like an outright in there, we'll bet it. So first group: Rahm, Patrick Reed, Cam Young, Munoz. Rahm pampered fuck. He's getting an easy draw. They were like, Rom, you've been playing so bad around the greens and putting that we're going to give you a little easy, kind of get out. I can't come on here and say he's going to get out of the group. I don't think he will. I think there's fundamentally something wrong with the putter and around the green. And if it was one event, I'd be like, whatever. It was one event, but it's consistently been 4 or 5 weeks where something is wrong around the green. And I'm not wasting any money trying to find out. If I had to give someone to make it out, I would say Cam Young. I think he's like plus 250, plus 300 to get out of the group. I think that could happen. He's been playing well. So I'll go Cam Young with the first group, but this will be a stay away. I'm not betting on the group winner here because I just don't see any value in it.
Yeah, I agree with you on Rom. Don't think he gets out of this group. Don't think I'm kind of going to be fade the whole top of the board guy here this week. Maybe one guy makes it out. Maybe Xander makes it out because he seems to have a pretty easy draw, if I recall. Maybe Cantlay, but I don't know. How bad do these guys want this week? It's a long week. It's a lot of golf. Masters is around the corner. We've heard some murmurs that they don't really like the course in the lead up to the Masters. It's a terrible Masters prep all around between all the golf. The course, everything. Next week is a much better prep. So do some guys bow out literally? I don't know. Maybe you just go 0-3 and you get the hell out of there. But so fading the top of the board, and that would obviously start with Rom fading him. Like you said, around the green too. It's a big driving course for sure. Dustin's won here, Bubba won here. But you got to get up and down in those crucial situations. Another match play cliche right there for you. So that's why I do like Reed. I know that sounds crazy. He's been absolutely horrific off the tee. Showed us a little something at the Players, but was pretty bad off the tee. Gained 9 strokes putting. Obviously not a repeatable deal, but I'm going with the lazy Patrick Reed match play take. He's the guy I was talking about, 65-1. He's actually got to the round of 16 twice, never made it any further. So hopefully this is the year. I'm pretty upset. I did make this bet before the groups came out. That was really stupid of me. So now he's got to play Rom. And now he's got to play Cam Young, who I love, who you just mentioned as a bet you might make in this group. I mean, guy's red hot. Used to cover him back in his junior days when I was doing some local golf writing. So I'm a huge fan of Cam Young and his game. I love him at the Masters. If you want to look ahead there. But I'm going to stick with Reed to win this group and hopefully win the entire event.
Love it. So moving on. Oh, okay. No, this is the thing where I really don't think Rom is a good play. Like, I don't think Rom holds a big advantage on like a shorter Pete Dye type track. I think he's best on a super fucking long, super fucking hard event. And Rom is not great with his wedges. Got to be a lot of wedges this week. Give me a course where Rom's hitting his 4-iron. So I'm full fade on Rom. We're just going to keep the bit going. I love it. So next group, I'm officially a Lowry stan. Love Lowry. He has catapulted himself into my favorite golfer on tour. Louis washed up, trash, done with him. Lowry is playing some absolutely splendid, wonderful golf. And his approach numbers have been unbelievable. So at Honda, he gained 11 on approach. Players, 4 strokes on approach. Gained 4.5 at the Valspar when I was on him. And he's gaining across the board. He's only losing a little bit around the green, but he's gaining off the tees, gaining putting. I got a 45-1 on him to win the match play. He doesn't have a great match play record. I don't care. Billy Horschel didn't have an amazing match play record coming in, but just not even strokes gained. Like, I was tracking him every single shot last week. He was putting everything to 12 feet. And I do not believe that his putt, like, he will eventually start to make some. I know these greens are a little bit similar, but I'm more of the camp that he eventually will bring his putting around. So Lowry outright, I love it. Lowry to win the group stage, plus 220. I love it. I'm all over Lowry this week. I really like him. Who do you like in this group with?
I think I wrote down EVR just because, I don't know, there always seems to be one of those guys like a Beauregard or who was it last year, Victor Perez, just
Victor Perez,
international type guy that ends up in the Elite Eight and kind of introduces themselves to the casual golf fan. EVR kind of has already done that thanks to, his whole vibe, his whole look. But I'm not going to argue with you on Lowry. I think, and you want to tie in the Ryder Cup, he was one of the lone bright spots up for the European team. So playing really well, like you said. I think we're going to see a lot of these Euros kind of play pretty well this year. Fleetwood's kind of coming around. I think a lot of them got screwed with the travel, the COVID stuff. Fleetwood for sure. So I think we'll see a renaissance from all of these guys this year. So I won't argue with you on Lowry, but I did write down EVR as my pick out of this group.
All right, love it. So moving on, next group, we got Bryson, Gooch, Westwood, and Bland. So I don't care if you have bet on one event ever or you do this every single week. Like gut instinct, Taylor Gooch, like so obvious, so easy. I'm not going to bet it. This is a stay away group for me, but Bryson hasn't played, probably injured, so no one's going to go to him. Lee Westwood, I mean, he's one of the weaker golfers in this field. He did play well in this event last year. He's been okay recently. And then Richard Bland, I think, is just going to be an automatic fade for a lot of people that aren't very well versed with the Euro Tour. So Gooch is so obvious that I can't bet it. This is a stay away group for me, but I guess if I had to pick, I would go Gooch. But I think whenever he's that obvious and it makes too much sense for him, he doesn't deliver. But I think Gooch is really a no-brainer here.
100% agree. He was who I wrote down here. And Bryson's kind of back to your Ron point. Same thing. This is a course where, he can't, and God knows if he's, even swinging it well, if he's fully healthy. But when the variables are all off and he can't just go from point to point and he gets weird bounces, this is probably a terrible course for Bryson. So that's a total fade. And yeah, this is Gooch's group to lose for sure. If you want to have a little fun, I would go Bland. Another guy, there's always the 250 to 1 shot that gets to the round of 16. So there'll be plenty of hedging opportunity if you do throw a dart on Richard Bland this week. But I would say, like I said before, like you said, Gooch's group to lose for sure.
Gooch's group to lose. I love it. That's the take this week. So next group, DJ, Homa, Wolf Hughes. So I have a take for you. We're doing podcasts. It's all about creating a narrative. It's all about doing a take. This is the first time in 7 years that DJ has been out of the official world golf ranking top 10. Therefore, he's upset. He wants to get back in it. He's motivated DJ to win this group for the pure fact he is out of the top 10 and he wants to get back in. That is the take. That is, just some crazy thing to make up and run with it. So I like DJ.
It's a good narrative. It's a good narrative play. I like it. He can make that all up at Augusta, though. So I'm not ready to hop aboard that narrative. I'm going to, surprise, roll with my best boy, Max Homa here out of this group. So, but I don't hate it's a total respect play. I don't hate the narrative. I was on DJ at the Players. That number was crazy, 40 to 1. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we're going to get that again soon here, especially at the majors. But I'd like to see DJ bounce back soon here. It could be this week, like you said, but I'll roll with Homa, who's playing pretty well right now, and has been for quite some time now.
Yeah, no, he's really a splendid, excellent player. Like he is really, really good at golf, playing some really great stuff right now, and it's been a pretty long time over a big sample size. So I like Homa here. I like DJ here. This will be a no bet for me in the group. I don't want to overexpose myself, but I would say fade Matt Wolf. Here.
Geez.
I would just fade Matt Wolf a little bit. So the quote unquote group of death, Scheffler got absolutely shafted. Here we have Scotty. Let me pull up the odds. So we have Scotty at 2 to 1, Fitz 250, Fleetwood 275, Ian Poulter 300. There's a really great case to be made for every single one in this group, and I think that before odds and before the groupings came out, I kind of gave some consideration into Fleetwood and into Fitzpatrick, both playing really well in the Florida swing, gaining on approach, playing well, top 20ing. Like that's what you're kind of looking for. I'm looking for like informed players, but it's just not worth it to me given so much uncertainty with this group that every single match is going to be an absolute battle here. Scotty, I mean, he is the quintessential match play player, and I think I might be betting him to get out of this group just because I think there's a little bit of value on it given how good, like if he was in any other group, he would probably be plus 125, plus 150, but just the way he's playing right now, how well he sets up for match play, just make a bunch of birdies, not make a lot of bogeys. He came in second at this event last year. It's in Texas. I'm going to go with Scotty here at 2-1 to win, but group of death, who are you liking?
Yeah, hard to argue that. I think we were on pace for a Players Championship win out of him too, like a little just mini kind of tear because he's playing so well right now. He totally got screwed by the weather. I think he was like 5 under at one point Thursday or Friday, and then the stopping and starting, and then he had to play on the really brutal day. So yeah, I'm with you on Scotty. I'm a fan of Fleetwood, the way he's playing right now, the way he's kind of flip the narrative back to he's an elite type of player on this Florida swing. So Fleetwood for sure is interesting, but Scotty does seem, best player on the planet right this second argument. I would lean with Scotty in that department.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for these. I think they'll all be very good, and I think that they'll all be about even money. So I think that'll be a good. I'm excited to be betting on those matchups come, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So next group, I bet Tom Hoge outright at 100-1. Look, it's a crazy number.
This has got to be a Hoge event. Has to be a Hoge event.
It's such a small investment to get a really great return. And the thing I really like about Hoge is that this is a very short course. You're going to have a lot of wedges in, and just anything 150 in for Hoge, like he is just dynamite and just so good. And we've seen a lot of Americans do really well right now. And I think that his putting isn't great. It hasn't been that great, but I think it can turn around. Billy Ho, fade him off last year's win. So, and a plus 250 to win the group. That is a bet for me. And then Peters and Minu, I think, I don't see much upside in them. I think it's really Hoge or Billy, and I think that Hoge can definitely come out top here.
I love the Hoge play. I didn't even think of it for outright. I mean, this just screams Tom Hoge. We see these match play events where guys are kind of just constantly throwing darts because they're, not afraid to take chances, never out of the hole, all that. So you got to make birdies. Another great cliche we'll hear from Azinger this weekend. So that screams Hoge to me. He's going to be peppering flags. Never played in this event, so he'll be juiced up for sure. Love that. I might add it to the outright card.
Add it to the card. 100-1. I think it's a great play. I love him in DraftKings. I'm all over Hoge this week. I think he has a really nice week, and I'm excited to see him play. Next group, this is, quote unquote, the fiery group. Might be some incidents, some arguments, but we got Hatton, who is obviously a hothead. Berger, who's a cop, straight up cop. Siwoo Kim, I mean, the dude broke his putter at the best major in the world, was just like, fuck it, I don't care. And then Seabass, who is Seabass fiery?
He'll bring a little calm to that group. I think.
Like, he seems very chill.
No, he's chill. He's very chill. I've actually spoken with him. He's extremely chill.
Chill vibes. So
he'll totally
mellow
chill.
It out. Yeah. To get out of this group, let me pull up the odds. This is going to be a no bet for me. I'm not. I don't want to mess around with this group, but to get out,
Hatton, it's got to be Hatton.
I'm with you. I'm with you on Hatton plus 225. I think that's going to be a no bet for me. That's a stay away. But a Hatton Berger match, I think is going to be really good. Two really informed players playing great. So if Berger can make some putts, he can be dangerous because, I mean, the guy is just a monster on approach, and he. Is it a thing? I kind of with you that he doesn't win big events.
Berger?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fact, is it not?
And then he blew the Honda. So, like, if he won the Honda.
I would have checked that off as a big event. Lowry's a great player. I don't know who else was up there that day, but it's a big-time course. Big names have won there. He is technically a big name, so he gets that Honda win. I would have totally given him a tick in the big win box, but
no,
we all know what happened.
You literally tweeted that you were like rooting for Berger to win so that you can bang the Honda is not a big event. That would have been like a perfect...
Oh, I did tweet that. No, I'm caught in the line now. You're right.
Yeah, my bad. Bad podcasting there.
That was Honda. I tweeted that. Oh my god.
Yes. What other event was he doing it in? It was the Honda. He blew it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, I think we're rolling with Hatton here. So next group: Cantlay, Sanjay, Power, Mitchell. Kind of an oddball group. Very oddball group. I will say about Cantlay, I'm done. I am like I hate like, oh, I bet on him once and I'm like, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
I know.
I'm done with.
I loved what you were trying to do, because I was looking at him that week too, like, and I hate doing the nobody's talking about this, because ultimately everyone's betting on someone. Yeah. But I think you were the only guy on him, so I appreciate that zagging that you did, even though it didn't turn out so well.
Yeah, like and
it was he totally checked out at the very end of, I guess it was Saturday, was like, or Sunday morning, was totally like, what am I doing here? I'm going to race one on 17. I'm out of here.
I think Cantlay's like, play him on the West Coast. Like play. I don't know what it is, but he just hasn't really been doing it for me. Granted, I thought he was, after like Caves Valley in the Ryder Cup, I thought he was like the greatest match play player of all time. And now it's like he had one bad player. It's like, I'm done with him, but I don't know. And like, I have this Cantlay Masters future. I don't think he's winning the Masters.
It's so hard to bet all these guys right now. I know this is a crazy narrative play, but some part of them's got to be thinking, I do not want to peak, especially on this week with, an extra day of golf 2 weeks before Augusta. Why would you want to peak? So yeah. I do like that's why Billy Horschel can emerge last year, or Kisner here. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So who do you like getting out of this group? Cantlay and Power.
I wrote down Power because if you go with that theory I just said, and then you look at who's been the best player. I mean, Seamus Power has been one of the best players in the world recently. So I like Seamus Power to win this group.
All right, and he's plus 330. Got some good odds on it. Again, Tom Hoagie, Pebble, not a comp, but a lot of similar clubs in. Seamus Power, really good with his wedges, can make a lot of birdies. I think I'm kind of down. It's him or Mitchell for me, but I would not play Cantlay and I wouldn't play Sanjay. I think Mitchell and Power there. So going to the other side, we have Morikawa, Kokrak, Sergio, McIntyre. I think this is an easy play. Bob Mack here. Lefties do well here. He made it out of the group stage last year. Yep. Colin, again, fade the top. Kokrak, absolutely not. Serge, fine. I think it's an easy play. I think it's Sergio or Bobby Mack here, bar none. I think those are the only plays to be made at, I think, some pretty good odds. Let's see what
I wrote down Sergio. But I like Bob Mack as well. I think all these older European guys we do the match play angle with, I mean, sooner or later that juice has got to run out. So maybe I'll course correct to Bob Mack here and join you there.
Yeah, I don't love Sergio as an outright, but I think like a bet, I think anybody versus Kokrak, lock it up. And then I think Sergio to win the group is a good bet to go much further. I'm not really sure. So we got a bunch of small dudes in the next group. We got Answer. Absolutely not. He missed a cut last week. I played him in DraftKings. Easy fade. Webb, kind of showing some life, dude.
Healthy. Says he's pain-free.
He said he's doing well. I mean, I guess this could hypothetically be a good spot. But Harman is the play here for me. Harman, I love playing him on pizza. I love playing him in short courses. I love playing him when he's in form. He gained like 8 strokes putting last week on this Bermuda, overseeded with POA. Played really well at this event last year. I'm all over Harman. He is, so that is a bet for me.
Yeah, Harman.
Outright, I'm not down, but plus 300 to win the group. Love it. I'm on it. You agree? You're riding?
Yeah. Harman is ultimate match play, ultimate prove you wrong type guy. I've heard some great stories about him. So yeah, match play wise.
I followed him. I hope he's not listening because I don't. But I followed him at the Travelers, and like his caddy was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And like Harman wasn't, like, he like got really mad, like not at me or anything, but he like missed a shot and started like slamming his club. Like,
yeah,
really
He's a fiery little one, and he
Yeah.
doesn't like to be. He doesn't like to talk about how tall he is. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I've seen that up close.
That I wouldn't in the presser. Do they like teach you that at like Golf Digest?
Well,
Day
no,
one,
it was
like
this was a player's a couple of years ago. I remember he was like FRL, I think, or maybe it was second round. He went off, and like the first question was like, how do you overcome? And he just was like, "Are you seriously asking me that right now?" Like he was pissed off, and I was like, "All right, never ask him about his height." I would say that's my advice.
Dope. That's dope. Also, like everyone who's won this event is like an SEC guy.
Yeah,
He's an SEC guy. So Harmon,
dog.
I'm betting him to get out of the round, and I think a little bit, maybe a little quarterfinals. Definitely targeting him in matchups. So this is like the second group of death to me. We got I actually this group is unfair. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it's like actually unfair. We got Louis, who is really good in match play, really good at this event. We got Paul Casey, again, really good at this event, playing well, almost won the Players, like a dog, Euro guy. Connors, fade, absolutely. He was 0-3 at this event last year. And Connors is a guy you want to play in really tough conditions, like on his course, like par is a good score. That's not really it this week. And then Norin, who I bet Norin at 60-1. I mean,
I like that.
Norin always, like Norin's been playing really well. Shout out Andy Lack, kind of Andy Lack's boy. But gaining on approach, gaining on putting, like really, really good match play record. Obviously I bet him outright. I like him to get out of this group. I think it's going to be tough. I think he'll probably go to a playoff, but at plus 275, I really like Norin to get out of this group.
We're on the same page with a lot of these. I love Alex Norin out of this group, and I didn't think about him outright, but now I am. He's been cooking for a while now, like you said. Like Andy's been kind of pumping him up. I've bet him many times. Haven't recently, believe it or not, but you said great match play player. I'm picking him just based off that one putt he made in the Ryder Cup. So, I love Norin this week.
Boom, done. Norin to win the group. So this is where I kind of like fucked up a little bit, maybe. But next group, easily the easiest group. Xander got Xander, Tony Finau, who is not like, he like had a couple. No, he's trash. He's not been good. He did the opposite of Scotty Scheffler. He was like, I won my first big event in a long time, and then just absolutely did nothing since. Scotty was like, I'm going to do the opposite. Lucas Herbert, I mean, sure, but I don't really see much reason why he would play well here. And then Katumi Kanaya, I mean, if you don't know the guy, then he can't be good, correct? So
that's a good theory.
But what is Xander to win the group? He's only plus 175 to win the group. Like, that's still pretty good odds.
Xander should be embarrassed if he doesn't get out of this group. I'll just say that.
So this is where I kind of fucked up. I bet Xander at 28-1. To win. At 28-1.
Wow, that's really good. Where?
Yeah, it's on Caesars.
Caesars?
Yeah, Caesars. Check it out. Deposit some money.
Make a deposit.
So 28-1, like last week I sent out after Sam Burns when I was like, it kind of feels like stupid that
I saw your tweet. Couldn't agree.
People didn't bet.
It's so stupid.
It's like, okay, it was like 22-1. Okay, good number. Okay, good number. Won this event last year. Okay, that's a reason. And played well the week before. Those are a lot of reasons to and people are like, oh yeah, this is whatever. I'm trying to be less aggressive on Twitter. But someone was like, this is the guy that said you should have hit. I'm like, no, I'm the opposite of that. Actually, I always bring up, I was gonna bet Phil at the PGA. But if he was fucking 16-1, if he was 18-1, right, I wouldn't have sent that tweet. There's a difference. He was at a good number. It wasn't and then you're like, oh, why didn't you bet it was that obvious? I think it's that obvious with Xander. I think he's at a good number. He played well last week. Thank God Nagels isn't listening to this because I know that he would be like, Brian's an idiot. If he's betting Xander, he has no shot this week. But I think it just don't oversimplify it. He has the easiest group. He's at a good number and he's playing well. Just bet it.
Nagels would be extremely upset if he won this week, 2 weeks before the Masters. That's kind of where these theories that are filling up my head are from Nagels, from him saying, I don't want Xander to peak before the Masters, blah, blah, blah. So That would be unfortunate for him, but I do kind of like it now. 28-1. Caesars might get a deposit tonight for sure.
Yeah. I bet that. I started the card with that, and this is kind of where Andy's Nagels are talking about it. It's like, what do you want? Do you want the number at Augusta, or do you want the form? What do you want? It's selfish to want the number. Like, it's selfish to just be like, I want him to play shitty so I can get a good number on him. But it's like, wouldn't you rather be him playing well?
He'll still be even. I mean, if he wins this week, he'll go way down, but he'll still be above 20 no matter what, right? At the Masters.
No, I just don't think you would get like a. 30, so that's where like it was kind of stupid for me to bet Xander and Noren because they both can't make it out. But hopefully they both win their group. And we can move on. But don't not put them in their DraftKings lineup together. So I want to get your opinion on this. I don't know if you watched the video I put out, but there was a video on TikTok, and it was JT hitting a chip like behind.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, so it was like behind the green, and then like the fucking tent or whatever was there, and there was like some drunk guys, and JT was like assessing the shot. So JT wasn't like he was assessing the shot, going up to the green, and some fucking drunk frat guy. I was just like, greens are fast, like bump and run. JT like immediately stops. She's like, are you done, dude? Are you done? And then just like goes to the green. And then like the security guy comes over and it was like a little awkward, whatever. What is your take on that situation? We all know JT got a fan kicked out of the Honda Classic for saying go in the water or go in the sand. He got him kicked out. I've seen JT play in person. He couldn't be less receptive to fans. He is play the whole, and he is someone that gets it. He gets it, not bad, but people love people love talking to him and like saying shit to him. And he is just like, he'll give you a little wave after he makes a par. But what do you think of that situation? Do you think he overreacted a little bit?
No, I don't. And I still think that the Honda thing is, the delivery, I think, is hilarious. Maybe it was a little over the top to throw him out, but the okay, buddy, you're done, to me, was one of the funniest things ever said on a golf course. But this recent one, I got it from a buddy, and he sold it like it was going to be like something really bad. And we love those, videos that kind of emerge on a Monday or Tuesday. Nice little extra content. And then I watched it, and I was pretty underwhelmed. I thought Bones was way more aggressive, which is what you want out of your caddy.
Yeah. Wait, what did Bones? I kind of missed it.
He was. I think he was the one who was like, "Are you done?" Or like, "That's enough, guys. That's enough." Something like that. I think JT was just like, "Yeah, are you done?" Another great line delivery to me. I think because that's the perfect thing to say to a guy like that in that situation. Instead of overreacting or kind of being a douche, just literally be like, "Are you done? Can we move on with the shot now?" Yeah. So I think he handled it pretty well, and it didn't look like he got the guy
because
thrown out.
My thing about it is that if I love going to golf tournaments, I'm going to a bunch this year. Like, I love it. Like, it's amazing. The last thing I would ever do would say something even half negative, anything to a fan. I'm very much so like, I don't want to say anything to anybody because it's a weird situation where you're so close to the guy and like you're just watching them all the time, and then you see them like, if there's a golfer I like, I will just root him on. But so I would never in a million years say anything remotely close to that fan. I would, but I don't know. He didn't get him kicked out. It wasn't really that big a deal. I just thought the fact that it wasn't even close to the shot at all, like he should have just. It was a weird situation because it was right there. Like it was
on top of him, higher ground. I've talked. That's a when you have the higher ground, you're winning automatically. So all JT can do is kind of look up at the guy. But I don't know, this whole age of shouting things and having your buddy film it in the hopes of going viral. It's a brutal age. The more I go to events and hear these people screaming, I'm surprised situations like that don't happen more often, and they probably do, and they're not on camera. So, overreaction sometimes maybe, but I don't know. I wouldn't be able to handle it the way they handle it for that.
I mean, we can kind of relate, like being like on Twitter, like, get a lot of hate and stuff. And it's just like, I've been good recently, like at just not responding. Little life update. Haven't been smoking pot, kind of quit smoking pot a little bit. So I'm less on edge. But I'm really proud of myself for dialing back. on
Love it.
Twitter. Not everyone needs a response. And it's okay, and just tweet like less controversial shit. So you don't have to. But anyway, I like JT to win this group. I like starting my DraftKings lineups in it. JT, he's playing unbelievable right now.
I didn't even look at the group.
JT, Kisner, Leash, List. Tough group, but JT, I mean, there's just something about his game right now, just gaining an exorbitant amount of strokes on approach, like just have a lot of high finishes. Maybe he's peaking for the Masters. I think he'll be a very popular Masters pick.
Yeah, I do too.
But I like him to get out of this group, and I really like starting DraftKings lineups with him. So I like JT.
I'm imagining he's not going to play next week, right?
No,
I don't think he ever has. So yeah, maybe he'll give it one more good shot before Augusta. Take the next week off.
No bet for me, but I think first round JT over Kisner will probably be like -125 because Kisner's a dog. I like JT there. Moving on.
I don't mind the fade Kisner. Everyone's gonna think he's a match play stud, but
So decent group. We got Jay Spieth, Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Keegan Bradley. This is definitely a no bet for me. I have no action on any of these guys. I really don't have much of an opinion on this group. I think I like Scott to maybe make it out. But
I wrote down Scott because just a trust thing. He's the only guy I currently trust in this group. I think I bet Spieth the players. That was pretty brutal. Justin Rose, you never know what's going on with him. Keegan, when a format where you have to make a lot of putts, you would think would not be suited for him, even though he did have a good Lone Ryder Cup appearance. But to me, Adam Scott is very, very trustworthy. But yeah, that's probably one you just stay away
from. Save your money, spend it on other shit. How did you do betting on CBB the first game?
Oh my God, great Thursday, Friday, a lot of live bets, a lot of betting on the team that was down 5 and kind of getting a little value in the money line. And then that strategy did not work Sunday to the point where I kind of this is what I meant to say. You say this all the time, and I say it all the time, and it's the most true thing ever. I mean, golf is so far and away the best thing to bet on in terms of value. I made God knows 100 bets this weekend, and you feel like you go 12 rounds, and if you're lucky to come out a little bit on top, a little bit, that's a good weekend. Golf, you bet $10 on a guy at 35 to 1, you got 4 days of entertainment, he wins, and you feel like you're rich. It's like I was sitting there like this isn't even fun for me anymore. It's like a grind. The whole weekend is a grind.
Missing shots, like the
shot clock violations by college kids, the offensive, getting dominated on the offensive glass. It's like, why I'm putting myself through undue stress.
Yeah, no. So I tweeted out and I was like, St. Peter's was only 11 to 1 to beat Kentucky. And that was like legitimately the biggest upset in like the past 5 years in college basketball. You're only getting 11 to 1 on it.
Yep.
I had a bunch of people in my comments like, well, it's a fixed thing. It's a one-on-one. Like, it's like having an 11 to 1 in a match. I'm like, dude, I'm just saying that in golf on Twitter, multiple people hit winners above 11 to 1 every single week. And to predict
way above 11 to 1.
Way up. I'm like the lowest golfers 11 to 1.
To even come close to the golf odds, you need 5 legs in a parlay, and they got to be all spreads. You can't be, minus 300 money line parlay is not going to get you there either.
Yeah. So to the haters, you didn't. I'm just saying, like in golf, you have way more opportunity to hit big bets. It's so much harder to go up big if you're just betting minus 110 odds and you have to front $200. I would rather bet a guy plus 250 to finish top 20 and throw $75 on it to win the 200. Regardless, doesn't matter. Next group, Neiman, Henley, McNeely. I love Henley this week. I think it'll be a very popular play, but I really like Henley on shorter courses when he has a wedge in his hand. And the approach numbers have just been unbelievable. So since Sony gained 6, gained 4, lost a little bit, 1.3, 3.9, 11.5. Like, he's going to put it together. And I think that in a situation like this where he doesn't make a lot of bogeys because he always hits the green, and he can make every other birdie putt, I think it will be a tough match play spot for a lot of people going up against him. I'm definitely betting Henley to win this group outright. I think it's a waste of a bet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's like, I like it, but like, I don't realistically think it will win. So like, what's the point? But I'll definitely bet him at plus 220 to win the group. He is the favorite. Vegas knows that he's going to win. So plus 220, Henley to win. I'll be looking at him in first round matchups. Who do you like in this group?
I did write down Henley as well. I saw you pumping him up. I saw Andy pumping him up. So that's just a collab team play. And the narrative that just popped into my head, if you want to bet him outright, he's not going to have a 5-shot lead to blow in like the final four. So maybe that'll be a different kind of vibe for him if he can get to the Elite Eight Final Four, where every hole's a new hole and he doesn't have to protect. He can kind of stay aggressive in this format. So, maybe Andy's prophecy will come true. Henley Xander final match on Sunday when we'll be out on the golf course having our own little match.
Yeah, no, that'll be absolutely.
We got to play match play, all right? We have to.
Yeah, sure. Just like give me a stroke a hole, like whatever. But I've been like driving it really well. Like,
are you one of these? I don't have an official handicap guy.
No, I'm like a 20 handicap.
You do?
I'm like a 20 handicap.
You keep an official one?
Yeah, I do. I keep it on the grid. Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, a good like my over under on a round at like my home course is like a 93. So like new course over under probably like 96. Reading some reviews, it's a little tough, but 64, 100 yards, I can handle that. I can handle.
It's short. It plays every bit of 6,400.
Okay, yeah, that's dope. This
is my high school home course, so
wow.
Played a couple rounds there, as you can imagine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say like it's gonna be a movie, and I would say that. Just off the top of my head, like I would say Andy should give you like 4 pops, and I think you'll win.
I think it was right around there that he gave me last summer, and didn't bring his best stuff, so I'll let that slide. But I did win. I'd like to see Andy peaking. That's gonna be a sight to behold.
Yeah, no, should be fun. I'm excited to play. I have to bring my golf clubs into the city. So bringing the golf clubs into the city, whatever, it's fine, on the train. Then going to Andy's, dropping off the clubs. Me, Andy, and Tom Jacobs are meeting up. We're meeting up with the bloke, Tom Jacobs, my boy, meeting up. And then my friends, they have like an open bar, going out for a friend's B-day, hotel. So, and then I'm meeting up with other friends in between. Hotel.
Talk about a movie.
Wake up, go to Andy's. We'll drive to Jersey. Take the LIR back with my golf clubs.
Jersey bagel, maybe.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll get one in the city, man. Maybe we get some pork ham on it. I'm not. Oh
my god.
I'm not going through. Like I can't go through. But anyway,
I appreciate that. You're not. Kind of a worthless argument type of person.
Yeah, no, but I'm not gonna fill out my whole bracket. No one cares. It doesn't matter. It's the same as March Madness. You're never going to. Do it. So I will give you my single entry lineup if anyone wants to dupe it. So I'm going JT, Xander, Henley, Hoagie, Mac Hughes, Lowry. Outrights, Xander, Lowry, Hoagie 100 to 1, Henley 50 to 1. We'll bet it. That's fine. And then we will, kind of see where we have room on the card. But I went over my bets I like. To win group. This will all be tweeted out, obviously. Probably tomorrow. We're gonna grind after this. Got another pod after this. So who are you targeting outright? What's the outright card looking at right now?
It's for sure Reed, as I mentioned, 65 to 1. And then a guy I guess didn't really talk about. Zalatoris, Will Zalatoris.
Oh yeah, 30, we didn't talk about the last group.
30 is that the last group?
Yeah, Hovland, Zalatoris, Tringali, Straka.
Worried about a little burnout for Hovland. Plus, like we were talking about before, you gotta be able to kind of chip around this place a little bit, and he can't really do that all that well. So just like this number, 35 to 1, been betting Zalatoris a bunch this year. I think we all had him at the Farmers, which was unfortunate. Bet him at the Players, followed him a lot. The guy absolutely smashes the ball. He was out driving Keegan, who hits it a long way. Keegan's like over 300 average, and then Varner, who's got some pop. I mean, he was out driving them by 50 yards, and he's this stick figure.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of pop. Irons are always going to be there. Approach game's always there. If we can just have, the typical handicap, if we can just have a baseline putting week. Maybe match play is not his style, where you got to make a lot of putts, but I like him from distance. I don't like him from 4 feet. Whoever's playing him should make him putt out everything this week.
That's a storyline. That's going to be a
storyline for sure.
That gambling Twitter is going to be all over him. The second, no, but I think if you're a PGA Tour player, you have to know that has a very shaky.
It's like doing a little research on your basketball opponent and saying something in his ear. Like, you have to make Zalatoris rattle the bottom of the cup every single hole in this format. So that obviously scares me a little, but he's got the Texas tie-in. He moved to Texas when he was a kid. He loves Texas. He still lives there. Like I said, he's been on an off-the-tee rampage. Got some match play experience, 2017 Walker Cup, another one of those Palmer Cup or whatever. So, and the group, I know I already said Hovland, but Cameron Tringali and Sepp Straka. I know Sepp's a recent winner, but the group does not really scare me. So as long as he gets out of that group, I'm going to be pretty happy with that card. So it's just Zalatoris and Reed for me right now. I might add Xander
and Henley.
No, Norin, I think.
Okay, dude.
And then I will have a long shot, since there's no first round leader this week. We're gonna do the dart throw tomorrow night, and it's gonna be mega bombs. So stay tuned for that for sure.
I'm very excited for it. Great content. You're putting out some great stuff. Proud of you. Like, keep grinding, bro. Like, straight up, keep grinding.
You got to put yourself out there. That's what I've appreciated about you and many others. If you don't put yourself out there, you're just falling behind everybody else. So I'm just trying to be more like Brian Kirshner, who's got 3,000 more Twitter followers than I do.
Dude, I'd stop. Don't bring it up. Don't bring up the Twitter followers. Like, it was all Paige. Like, had nothing to do with me. But like, straight up movie pod with my boy CP. Excited to see you Sunday. I appreciate everyone who listened. If you're new from BetSperts or from YouTube, great. Go check it out. Go sub to their page. And I appreciate all of you. And we are in for a massive week. A lot of tweets by plays for the week. Like, I wish it was payday. But
it's not,
we're gonna have to spend the money. We're spending rent money that I don't pay this month on this match play. Get a little bankroll going for the Masters.
Yeah, let's go.
So everyone, have a great night. Great pod. And we'll see you at the